Hi, this is Nikki and Claire from the Grow Institute. Again, third of our little taster, 5-minute taster talks on exploring seasonality. As we previously said, we've got decades and decades of experience between us, probably dating back to the 18th century, I'm not sure, covering commercial horticulture, retail horticulture, teaching, and in Claire's case, garden design. Claire?
Yeah, I'm currently the programme leader of garden design at Hadlow, and yes, when we talk about this, I kind of scan the history of my career. Too much to mention. You'll have to get to know us in these lectures.
Right, we've kept these to try and keep these to 5 minutes because we are aware that we can talk excessively. So we're doing 2 plants. These are 2 deciduous shrubs. We're going to say a couple of things about each of them.
Just a couple.
I know it won't ever be that, will it? And then join us for our online talks and lectures. You can book through emailing us, and we'll be putting more information on our social media pages about times and the different sessions. Right, what's the first one? Deciduous shrubs.
So we've chosen two contrasting. The first one, super glam, hydrangea arborescens Annabelle. You'll see it out and about at the moment. Over to you, Nikki.
Wow, it is a glamorous plant. I think it's like a frothy bottle of Prosecco at this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Flowers for a long time, even when they're in bud, and it's that limey green, and then it opens to all the little white florets that making that great big head. Can be used as quite a low informal boundary hedge type thing, but a great standalone shrub. What's not to love about it, if I'm honest? It's glamorous in a way I never will be.
It's very classic. This kind of white, it's quite understated at the same time. It's quite a clever plant.
Yes, beautiful.
Contrasting. Poor old Symphoricarpus orbiculatus. This is kind of the dry shade. Does anyone even buy it? Or because it just kind of turns up? I mean, but I like it because it can work in all those kind of difficult spaces, but it's fantastic for pollinators. So I took these photographs at say 7:30 at night, absolutely teeming with bees. So that's great, but it's tough.
Yeah.
And those lovely berries you can pop and I used to annoy my dad by doing it.
You can buy it. Generally, it's bare root mixed hedging, can't you? You buy it as hedging. It's not something that you very often see in a garden centre anymore. Some of the cultivars you might, but actually dry shade, a difficult area, if you've got poor soil and you've got a difficult area you need to cover, it's a good boundary plant and fabulous. I can remember stamping on those berries and getting them to pop. I think we used to call them pot berries or something. But the way it's got the berries and still got the little flowers on it, I think, it's overlooked. Another one that's overlooked. It's got more going for it than we think, hasn't it?
And you don't always want to have, not all of the areas in your garden are super glamorous. Some of them have to work. What are you going to plant at the base of the tree in those darker areas? So as a designer, you might think I might be all about the hydrangea, but actually I like the plants that I can work, and that particularly like dry shade. That's my thing. So it's a really interesting and really pretty up close, another mindfulness opportunity to look at the difference between all these, the berries and the flowers and the bees all at the same time.
Great for wildlife, that one. Anyway, if you want to join us for one of our talks or lectures on deciduous shrubs for your garden, and not just for your garden, just because you like looking at them, you might have seen some somewhere when you've been out and about, get in touch with us. And as I said, we will be putting stuff on our social media pages, more contact links, and more about the lecture series that we're going to be doing. We don't know whether to call them lectures or talks. We don't want to lecture you. We want to talk to you. We want it to be a little bit interactive.
Yeah, and we'll hopefully be starting these in September. So after this really, really hot spell, we can kind of get back into looking at plants for autumn and getting back into learning.
Yeah, so if there's something you want to learn over winter ready for next year, come and join us. Anyway, see you later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.